Go ahead, Will. Pick up your microphone.
Which number is it?
324. Today's May 6th.
And it is currently about 18:24.
It is true.
So, yeah. Hi.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
Welcome. And hello out there, all of you. I've been instructed that today is May 6th. It is about 6:25 Mountain Standard Time. And this is episode 324. That's right.
These things
324.
are all true.
True story.
All of these things are true. I haven't even begun to lie to you yet. But yeah, hey, welcome.
Or was that the lie?
Maybe.
I was about to ask that question.
So yeah, welcome. This is episode 324 of the Lobbycast, your one-stop shop for news, shenanigans, and adventure.
It's true.
With me as
Or that
always.
may also be a lie.
So I will leave that for you, the discerning viewer and listener, to determine what is the truth and what is the lie this evening.
We are going to run a continuous stream of two truths and a lie tonight.
Nice. I like it. With me tonight is the lovely Erin
Hello.
and the even lovelier Geoff.
Howdy.
And I, of course, am Will.
You are. And you are lovely in your
You
own
are
right.
you are also lovely.
Well, thank you.
We're all just
That also
Lovely.
may be the lie. Yes.
No.
Maybe?
No.
Okay, fine. So, why don't we start things off with some news this evening?
What kind of news do you guys have?
I have
You
some
have
interesting news. Found an article up on the CNET, and it is from Activision, of course, the fantastic people behind not only Blizzard, but also Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, Bungie, Destiny, Stone, here's Warcraft, and all this other stuff.
All those things.
Few
All
things you
these
might have heard
things.
of.
Few titles we may have talked about once or twice before on the show. What the article basically says is that they are shifting now to primarily online sales. They're saying that their current sales via the internet currently account for a record $3 out of every $4 sold by the company.
Wow.
Really?
The article goes on to say there that it is also going to be talking about that Destiny and Hearthstone Heroes of Warcraft have accumulated more than 50 million registered users. And
That's pretty
both of
huge.
these titles are responsible for more than $1 billion in sales.
$1 billion.
$1 billion. Obligatory pinky to the corner of the mouth.
I refuse.
Please. Yay. So with this, of course, the transition to digital can just continue to drive business. So I would expect to see more digital-oriented sales and digital-oriented gimmicks and pitches and all this other stuff in years to come.
Yeah, but actually, there's a Bungie-related note that I was going to talk about. For the disaster in Nepal, Bungie is doing this thing where for $25 they do a shirt, an exclusive whatever
Thing.
Stuff.
in Destiny. It's like a new shader and a new logo or card or
Okay.
some nonsense like that, and they're giving all of the profits to Nepal,
Okay.
so to the relief effort there.
Which is a fantastic idea, and hopefully the community gives generously. So hopefully it works
Yep.
well for them.
Hope so too.
Yeah, the article finished off by saying that $538 million was earned via online sales. Not
Wow,
only
that's-
full game
that's pretty
downloads,
huge.
but also
Yeah.
in-game add-ons.
That is pretty awesome.
Yeah, good for them.
I have yet to try Hearthstone. I think that's one that Lou is trying to get us to play.
Yeah, there years and years ago, must have been probably 2006, 2000. I received World of Warcraft as a Christmas gift.
Yes, I've never played.
I never have either because I wound
Nice.
up trading it in for EverQuest 2,
Oh, good for you.
and
Which we did play.
which we played
Quite a bit.
hell of a lot.
Yeah, I essentially wasn't married for about 2 years.
It's true. As I've said before, it took a government-sponsored vacation to sunny, scenic Middle East to help me curb my EverQuest 2 addiction. 3 months of hard shakes, a couple relapses, and I got better. There is hope.
Congratulations.
There is hope. Now I tread lightly with some of the recreational MMORPGs,
Right.
like Destiny and Neverwinter. But I know that I can quit at any time. So
The video Skinner boxes.
Well,
yes,
you know, knowing when your next deployment is also helps you know that you can
Right.
quit at any point.
Yeah.
I know that I will have no choice but to quit.
a place with no email. I might as well not get too attached to this game.
Right.
Maybe I'll work on some single player RPGs for a while.
Well, I'm sure that Erin will be happy to take Elder Scrolls Online for you.
I have no doubt. I have a very strong feeling
Yeah.
that what's going to happen is I'm not going to be married for the next 2 years.
Well, there
and,
you
and
go.
then the world will have balanced out.
I'm also pretty sure that I can use this to leverage possibly buying another Xbox One and a television for another part of the house.
Ooh.
If nothing else, so that I can at least watch television once in a while.
Yeah, but you just watch crappy TV anyway.
Yes, but it's my crappy TV and I enjoy it.
All right. Hey,
Smallville. Are we going to start this early, or
No,
should we wait?
No, it's fine.
No, we're good.
All
right.
Jordan started watching Daredevil because he texted me about a particularly brutal moment. I'm like, I know the Kingpin moment,
Nice.
whom you have not met yet.
Correct.
No, not.
We are
At some
slackers.
point, I may just have to sit down and make you guys watch the second episode. Try.
If we
and
haven't
get
gotten
you...
there by next week, by all means.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So you have one.
I demand at least 7 days to see how far we can get.
Okay. I'm really only asking for you to be entertained for 43 minutes. It's like, please
Given the fact
entertain
that we
yourself for
just-
43 minutes.
Came off of a period of several weeks where I actually had to have the following exchange with my professors. How's your husband? I suppose he's fine.
Right.
I know he's coming into the house occasionally
I'm sure he would have sent a text if something
if
was
something
amiss.
happened,
Yeah.
in theory.
In theory.
Always assuming he can get to his phone.
Yeah.
So what other news do you have there?
The other little bit of
My
news
dear.
I have comes from yesterday, so it's already old news in the internet world.
I did see this, though. This is interesting.
Hulu, the
Hulu.
internet TV for service.
I also have Hulu News. Maybe the same news.
Is this the Hulu news about Mist?
No.
Winner!
Yay!
We have multiple
found new
points
news.
of Hulu News,
I'm
which
excited.
can't happen that often.
No, absolutely
in the same
not.
week.
No. So Hulu has landed a Mist-based drama from the 1999 or 1990s classic video game puzzle-based series.
Good stuff.
Project is going to be coming from Legendary Television, which is also being produced by The Amazing Spider-Man and Sinister Six, and one of the writers for Divergent. So it has some street cred behind it already. The interesting thing, of course, will be to see, how far can they take it? How successful can it be? So I'll be interested to see what happens
Yeah.
with that. Even though I don't have Hulu, have no plans on getting Hulu, but I plan on hearing from my friends that do.
I have
There you
Hulu.
You can keep us updated.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Well, my little bit of Hulu news is that they got exclusive rights to stream Fear the Walking Dead, the new Walking Dead companion series on AMC.
okay.
Ooh.
So it will not be on Netflix. It will only be on Hulu and probably Hulu Plus, I imagine.
Sure.
That's got to be good for them to get
Yeah.
anything connected to
Yeah.
The Walking Dead exclusively.
You know who it's not good for?
Netflix.
People who hate commercials, because Hulu is lousy with commercials.
Yeah.
Sometimes you end up watching the same commercial multiple times.
Oof,
Yeah.
that's a little painful.
It's super painful.
Which I believe is one of the reasons
Why we don't have it.
Hulu.
Yeah.
So
It's not as bad with their commercials as like the individual television apps like the WDB or what is it now? Is it the WB?
the
Oh.
Warner Brothers Network.
CW?
CW, yes.
CW? Yeah. That one's the worst. That one definitely makes you watch the same commercial over and over again. And it's usually the same commercial for one of their other shows.
Yeah.
So bad.
Yeah, they really haven't improved since they had Michigan J. Frog as their spokesman.
Why did it have a name?
You didn't know that? Michigan J. Frog. Hello, my darling.
No,
Hello,
no,
my
no, I-
Hello, my ragtime gal.
Yeah, I didn't know it had a name.
I don't know. I've always wondered when he acquired the name because I'm very familiar with the original Michigan J. Frog cartoons. His name does not come up in those cartoons. So
Not at
I
all.
don't know when they decided that that was his name.
Interesting.
I've always been a little curious about that. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
As far as I'm aware, while we're exploring the depths of this sidetrack rabbit hole to its logical conclusion, as far as I'm aware, he first makes his appearance in the Chuck Jones directed Looney Tunes short about the drunk at the bar with the singing frog, yeah?
He doesn't start out as a drunk at a bar. He starts out as a fully functioning member of society who happens to find a singing frog in a box. Said singing frog.
And the
will
frog
only-
ruins his life.
Yeah. Well, the frog doesn't try to ruin his life. It tries to sing funny show tunes for him whenever the two of them are alone, but he insists on exploiting the frog, and the frog refuses to be exploited.
Well, good for the frog.
So really, it's a social comment. No.
We're not going to do that.
Moving on.
Moving on.
Yeah. Let's see. One last little bit of news. And if you have this, I mean, look at your notes. I can't even read those from here.
No.
The next pre-House of Wolves expansion
I do not.
patch may be arriving today or tomorrow for Destiny.
Cool.
So this is the final patch before the expansion content hits, which should be arriving in, I believe, 13 short days at this point.
That's not too bad.
A little bit less than 2 weeks away.
I should probably play Destiny again at some point.
Once the expansion comes out, I'm sure I'll pop it back into the machine.
Okay.
You're
You're not going to play a little bit before then to kind of get yourself back into it?
No.
We'll need to practice up.
I'm good. I've got my maxed out characters and I've got some exotics.
Oh, well.
I have stuff.
I have no maxed out characters.
I know.
Slacking over here.
Super
It's like you
slacking.
have a job or something.
or something. You have a job?
Yeah. Wait. Yeah, I do.
Hmm.
I don't know why I have this. Must have been a gift.
Yeah, fair enough.
Actually, I would like to say that that's probably what you can get by playing for about 2 hours a day.
Oh, wow. 2 hours a day. God, that's awesome. That is great.
Yeah. It's been a while since I've been able to do that, though.
Yeah.
True.
So, yeah, that's all I got for news.
That's it for your news?
That's my
Okay.
news.
Well, there is a bevy of Marvel news, Disney Marvel news, I guess. Disney has been imposing some fairly strict guidelines on the playing or the screenings for Marvel Age of Ultron. You have to close down your matinee program before 5 and you have to charge at least the national average for ticket prices, or you do not get to keep a portion of the sales.
How are they monitoring? Are they just assuming it's pretty much self-policing at that point once that kind of money is
I don't
involved?
know.
Or
I don't know. It's pretty crazy, but it is a lot of money. They Age of Ultron had the second biggest opening weekend of any movie in his ever.
Nice.
And that numbers at this point, and the first place is the original Avengers movie.
Okay.
So
Wow.
yeah, so yeah, it's doing really, really well. It had already been hitting record numbers for overseas sales, and continues to do well here. Have you guys had a chance to see it yet?
No.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
I heard it was pretty much a nonstop action-packed thrill ride, but
You know
what
that
else
they
to expect.
actually did a good job of slowing it down for character moments.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Joss Whedon has removed himself from Twitter because of all the bitter hatred that he's been receiving for the movie, and his handling of Scarlett Johansson's character, and all it did is allow her to seem a little vulnerable, and and that's enough to get the wrath of the internet, apparently.
Which is a bunch of crap, because she was starting to show a little bit of that in
Right, it's a natural progression of the character
in Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Yeah, instead of being a someone who works alone, she's getting used to working in a team. So
right,
yeah, it's called character development. So why are people so angry?
I have no idea.
Is it because it's non-canonical? Is that the source?
I don't even know. I have no idea. It is
okay.
Bunch of hate.
Needless internet rage.
Stupid rage.
Yeah. And then let's see what else from list of things.
Oh, pick one and run with it.
Okay. Well, and this is somewhat related. Martin Freeman has signed up to be in Captain America: Civil War, so he will be in the next Captain America movie.
Okay.
All right.
Which is great, because I really liked Winter Soldier.
Yeah, Winter Soldier.
And I believe it has the same director, who is also going to be the director of the Infinity War movies, I believe, at this point.
Okay.
So no more Joss Whedon on Avengers. He's going to hand it off to somebody else.
Okay.
Yep. And
Martin Freeman.
Martin Freeman.
Yeah, Bilbo.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
And
I'm not even going to try and pretend at this point. What you said was Martin Freeman.
You heard Morgan Freeman.
No. What I heard was Martin Lawrence.
Oh, even worse.
Yeah. So I'm sitting here going, is it going to be like a Bad Boys 2 shot me in the ass, I can't trust you as my partner kind of thing?
It could be.
I'm not sure. And then I was like, no, wait. Martin Freeman, who's actually a good actor.
Right.
And who will bring a new level of something to the film.
We're not, and we do not mean any disrespect to Morgan Freeman.
No, absolutely not.
He does just fine in the DC movies.
Yes, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
The other gentleman in question, however, he meant every word of it.
That's right.
I'm just saying Will Smith carried both of those films. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. To some extent, Tay Leone.
Yeah, she helped a lot with the first one.
Helped a lot. Star Wars side story movie. This is one of the standalone Star Wars movies.
Yes,
has lost its director, and it's Josh Trask of Chronicle and the Fantastic Four reboot. Okay. He's off on another project, I guess. So they're looking for a new director now.
Okay.
So, and remember when we were talking about Wonder Woman losing their director?
Yes.
What I didn't realize is, and her name's Michelle something or other. She's like one of the directors on Walking Dead and Breaking Bad that like did more episodes than a lot of the other directors.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah, and I don't remember her last name at the moment. It sucks. always have to forget something during the show. That's today's. Then let's see some TV news. Oh, actually, Suicide Squad news. They did put out a full cast pick for the Suicide Squad,
Yes, I saw
and
that.
Margot Robbie looks great as Harley Quinn.
Yes, I would have loved to have seen her in the traditional red and black Harlequin outfit, though.
And that might happen. We don't,
Yeah.
this is one picture. We don't know.
Sure. And they're
Gonna
going to
happen.
test market and test focus group, and it'll probably change 16 times. But
It
harkens back to my youth when I would come home from school as a latchkey kid, let myself into the house, and immediately plunk myself down on the couch and watch Batman the Animated Series. So that's the Harley Quinn that I grew up with because I wasn't a comic book reader. So my childhood memories of Harley Quinn is the white face Harley Quinn red and black diamond,
which is really great.
Oh yeah,
I've been and not to spoil this for anybody, but I've been watching Batman the Animated Series again, so
yeah.
Oh, very
That's
nice.
it's enjoyable. And let's see. Oh, TV news. Walking Dead season 6 has started filming, so that's kind of exciting. So
Good,
that'll
good.
be more than likely out in October, and I'm not sure exactly when the spin-off series starts, but it's got to be pretty soon. They're talking about summer,
Mhm.
so
Okay.
maybe June, maybe July, and then if well, this first one's a short season, maybe like 6 or 8 episodes, and maybe in the future, we'll have lots of Walking Dead spread out throughout the year.
Sure.
So I'm interested to see their take on it, with it taking place in LA.
Yeah,
It would be a
as you
really different
know, I
setting
don't
than
watch the show, but you'd said that the setting was going to really change
Yeah.
up, and
Well, like I
than
said,
rural
just
Georgia or the Atlanta area.
The options for celebrity cameos alone
It'll be so great.
should be
Yes.
fantastic.
absolutely.
I'm really looking forward to that. Yep. And in some video game news, The Last of Us Left Behind goes standalone on PS4 and PS3, and that was an expansion for the game.
Okay.
And now you're going to be able to play that separate from the game if you do not own the game.
Okay.
So that's kind of a cool deal. It's
Yeah, that's an interesting way to do it.
be $10 standalone. I think that's a good way to generate sales for the full game.
Oh yeah.
I'd love it if more games did that. A $10 basically a $10 extended demo.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
if for people who, since there aren't as many demos available these days for the higher end system,
Mhm.
it'd be a good way for people to get to actually try out a game.
Sure. Or
Yeah.
like the playable teaser that was Silent Hill.
That was Silent Hill. That was.
Oh,
That
well.
looked fantastic. Really scary. Good stuff.
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Screw you, Konami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Screw
Yeah.
you.
Somebody also pick up that project.
If there's
Like I said, I'd be really surprised if Microsoft let that slip away.
right. Microsoft for the steal. They shoot.
Yeah.
They score.
That
I
would
mean, it could even be
that
a
would be
mediocre
amazing.
title at that point, but the fact that they stole away the Silent Hill franchise from
Yeah.
Konami would be
Would be a
It-
big one.
fantastic.
Well, and it could. Well, it's not going to be self-produced because the people involved have pretty much said it's dead. But yeah, I think Microsoft would be in the best position to pick that up for sure.
Yep.
Then also, Feel Real VR mask, and this is a project that's on Kickstarter, and it's more of a full head type mask, VR type situation. But in addition to sight and sound, what they're wanting to bring to the market is also smell, like mist, wind, and
How would they accomplish that?
it's like all like within the helmet.
You know what the problem is? I'm just going to go ahead and say it because I think at least half of us are thinking it. This is technology driven by the porn industry.
I was
I
thinking
don't
it.
need to smell any.
I'm just saying.
And,
I'm just saying
it's
that
not-
this is
no.
driven by the porn industry.
If it were driven by the porn industry, there'd be no need for a Kickstarter because the porn industry has plenty of money.
That's true,
So does
but
the video game industry.
wait,
yeah.
Technically.
So only the big companies have money.
but I
Oh, and
we have to be honest that at least with video technology and porn technology, porn has driven some of the success of today's
Viewing,
media.
yes.
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 And even if this is
And
not
the
porn
medium.
driven,
It will be.
it will be at some point. Exactly.
I'm not saying any one of us is embracing the idea here on this couch. I'm telling you it will happen. I'm telling you a whole new generation will
you
grow
please
up.
stop talking about porn and driving and embracing.
And embracing on the couch.
And embracing on the couch. On this couch.
Please.
I'm just saying, I'm not even trying to make a good argument. I'm just telling you what's going to happen.
Okay.
I'm telling you that if this is successful and this
Well, just let
technology
us
takes
know.
off. I'm not even advocating it. I'm just telling you what will happen.
All right. Well,
This is
here's
truth.
another invention that is not driven by the porn industry. Tesla is expanding its battery technology into home use.
Really?
I saw that.
Really?
Oh yeah.
No. You're going to tell me that this isn't
This
at
is
all driven
also
by the
not
porn
a-
industry at all?
No, it definitely is not. It's made for storing solar power. Yep. So I have no idea what goes on in your head. So I'm just gonna.
The way it
continue
worked
on.
was this. You said this is absolutely not driven by the porn industry. Tesla is improving their battery power for home use. I'm just saying, the way you presented that
Oh,
statement.
for the use of the home,
Oh.
not in-home use.
My bad. My bad.
I can see how you'd get confused. And I can see why you would get confused.
Yeah, whatever. I have no pride.
It's all right. It's okay. It's okay, Will.
Let's go back to this mask, though.
Yeah.
The thought of this frightens me.
The thought of wearing a high-end electronic device over my face that sprays water
Right.
That's
is an issue.
That's
Yeah.
what I
That
got
is
caught on,
vaguely
actually, yeah.
terrifying.
But in reading about this, something came up on a different product that I thought was pretty interesting. You know, the Microsoft HoloLens.
Yes.
Its major distinguishing factor is that it's wireless. You are not tied to a system or your PC or anything by wires.
Interesting.
Yeah.
which is good. I would think for that to have any long-term success, that would have to be in play.
Yeah, and they have this really cool video where someone has on the HoloLens headset and they're working on like bathroom sink like pipes, and there's a picture of somebody who's helping them, like it's being projected on the wall through their eyes, and then that person can also see what they're doing with the repair on the pipes.
Interesting.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it
I
has
was like, oh, that's a pretty cool use
it has
for
other
augmented
uses,
reality.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So the person who is working on the pipes can see, like the other person can like point at this, like move this, and rotate this thing 45 degrees or whatever. It's that kind of a deal. I think that is super cool. And the whole
Applications outside of the gaming industry eventually.
Right.
one of the cool things that they've been doing in tech demos is being able to walk on the surface of Mars through the augmented reality.
That's pretty cool.
Cool.
Yeah, using actual footage done by the Mars rovers and whatnot. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be very cool.
Yeah.
I dig it. See, now that has practical application. I like that.
It's going to be
That,
very expensive.
I have no doubt.
Yes, that's going to.
I
cost
don't even
a
want to
lot.
think about it.
It'll cost you more than an Xbox One.
Yes, probably more than a small car.
Yes.
Possibly less than a Tesla.
Hopefully less than a Tesla.
Yeah, those are pricey cars. Nice cars. That has worth in my mind developing. The idea
Absolutely.
of putting a helmet over your head that has not only cables for sound and sight, but also some kind of water reservoir system
And wind.
and
wind.
little fans is
And
terrifying.
vibration. I forgot to mention vibration before because you were.
I rest my case. I rest my case, ladies and gentlemen. The prosecution rests. Because the prosecution is spent. Now,
Right.
so yes, I hope that the HoloLens comes along. Not to knock Real Feel 2000 or whatever it is that they're calling it. I wish them luck.
The
It's
Real Feel
Kickstarter.
mask.
Like whatever.
You can go and support them on Kickstarter if you want.
Good.
Sounds like you really want to get involved in a matter of speaking.
No. I want to be as far away from that as possible.
Good call.
Interesting.
You forget that I've worked customs.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
And I'll leave it at that.
It's probably
leave
best
that
that you do. Oh. All right. So if we don't have any more news, we should probably go ahead and move on to the weekly Whatchas.
Yay, watch this.
Whatchas? All
You have
right.
news?
I
Erin,
did have
take
one.
it away.
Okay,
What you listening to?
never mind.
You have news or
We-
watch this?
Well, I
Were
don't
you
know.
trying to do this out of order?
Maybe.
So I got cut off by the constant porn talk or maybe just distracted. Who knows?
Either way.
No, but basically they did release, I believe it was yesterday, the news that they have cast Pennywise
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah. Tell us all about that.
for
That's
the
exciting.
It
A remake of it.
two-part. It's gonna be 2 parts.
That's how it was last time, yeah.
Mhm.
Or
Well,
was it 3?
It was 2 parts last time, but it was a TV miniseries,
Right.
and it, my husband and I have discussed this a little bit, but for the sake of the audience, for anybody that has seen it, you know what we're talking about. If you haven't, what the miniseries suffered a bit from was a TV rating, having to keep
Right.
it within the boundaries of a TV rating, which meant they essentially had to change a lot.
Only about
Yeah.
75% of the story.
Yeah.
There was at least 25%. It wasn't technically about a scary clown. The names were the same, but a lot of it did have to get changed. And it suffered from being uneven overall. Don't get me wrong, when I was a kid and watched that, it scared the snot out of me, but it suffered
Yeah.
from, the bits with the adults were too rushed. And
But in all fairness, it was still better than most of the Stephen King movies.
oh yeah, absolutely. I'm not saying it
By
didn't
far.
have merit.
Yeah.
A lot of that was the cast.
Yeah, and Tim Curry as Pennywise alone was worth the price, and still, to my mind, is worth the price of admission. He
Yes.
was
Yeah.
fantastic in that role. He owned it, and there were some good casting choices.
Harry Anderson.
Was great. John Ritter was fantastic. The late Jonathan Brandis was very good as the child.
Oh, John Ritter doesn't get the late in front of him?
I know. So sad.
So many delates.
So many of the lates. We miss you guys. We do. But yeah, so there were good casting choices, but it was. I'm glad they're retooling it and rebooting it.
Now,
I would still rather have a good version of The Stand than it.
Yeah, The Stand will probably be somebody else's future pet project.
I'm sure, and I hope so, because that needs a good reboot as well.
I'll be interested to see how they do that one, because that one I don't think you're going to be able to succinctly fit into 2 films,
No,
which is
No.
my understanding that they're doing with it.
and I'm not even sure how they're going to succinctly fit it into 2 films, if we're being honest.
Right.
But
We'll see.
I mean, unless
Okay,
we're
yeah.
following in Peter Jackson's ginormous hobbit-shaped footsteps. And
Well,
just saying, screw it, it's going to be a 3-hour film here and a 3-hour film here, and then we'll do a prequel to it, which is going to be 6 hours here and
Sure.
have absolutely nothing to do with the actual original source material. We should be fine. Did I get right in the commentary there? I did.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I
that's okay.
apologize.
Well,
Not really.
you know, they could always take the Sherlock route, which I think is pretty good. That was each season of Sherlock is 3 90-minute episodes, and I think 3 90-minute shows would be enough for it. Maybe not enough for The Stand.
90 minutes. I don't
Four-
think we'll do it any justice because the
I don't know,
original
4.5
miniseries
hours
is
is
4
a-
hours.
Oh, was it?
Yeah,
Mhm.
Mm.
Yes, it was.
So maybe it needs a little
it
bit
was
more.
missing a lot.
Yes. And we
Yeah.
discussed that because
Okay,
you reach
but
the end of the original.
90 minutes is actual on-screen time.
That would help.
That's true.
That would be in the US. That would be stretched out to 3 2-hour. That's because of the commercials. So
Right.
I don't know.
Which is why
Hard
I'd
to
rather
say.
see a film version. Unless HBO or Showtime
The film version wasn't
True.
that good.
or AMC can pick it up.
Yeah, because they're not
They're not
They're
bound
not
by the
hindered.
same restrictions.
right,
Sure.
which would help a lot.
Or as many restrictions
Mhm.
Mhm.
in any case. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that
We'll see. That gives me hope that maybe they'll redo The Stand and do it better.
Yes,
Molly
Yeah.
Ringwald was in that.
Oh God! And
I was about to say without Molly Ringwald would be an improvement on its own.
I just threw up a little. I was doing so well tonight. She was terrible. She was abysmal. Gary Sinise was fantastic.
Yeah, he
Gary
was good.
Sinise, could pretty much show up, smile twice, and get a paycheck. He'd be
Um,
pretty good at it. But
True.
And the guy who played Trash Can Man,
Yes.
yeah.
he's always good. He was in Eureka.
Yeah.
And what else?
Matt Brewer.
Matt
Really?
Brewer,
Yeah.
Max
Matt Brewer.
Headroom.
Max Headroom.
That's right.
Yeah, he was great.
Mhm.
Gary Sinise was fantastic. The guy that played Harold Lauder was pretty good.
Corin Nemec.
Corin
Yeah.
Nemec, yeah. The
Nicely done.
Thank
the,
you.
the dude that played the walking dude.
I got to use my Savantish skills. I'm really happy.
Yeah,
That was
that one.
That was
out.
pretty awesome.
The guy that played Randall Flagg, who went on to a lucrative career on
Jamie Sheridan.
on Law and Order,
Yes.
was okay.
I think he was cast because of his smile.
He was.
I really do, because
That-
he
that was
had the
90% of
grin. Yeah. And then the way his lines were translated from page to screen, he didn't have as much to work with.
No.
So
Molly Ringwald was abysmal. I'm pretty sure she was the origin of the
The old lady was good.
Mother Abigail was fine.
Yeah.
Ruby.
Ruby D. But I'm pretty sure that Molly Ringwald's performance in The Stand was what led to what we consider now when people going for Botox treatments.
Wow. Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Yeah. She didn't bring a lot to the table there.
No.
No.
So,
But I am curious about how this Pennywise will work out, because I was going to say he has some big shoes to fill, but I couldn't do it.
Because he's a clown.
Get it?
Big-
I'm really
big red
sorry,
shoes.
everybody that's listening. I'm so damn sorry. But I'm not really.
Jordan would be proud of you.
Yeah, yes, say Jordan. Hopefully, he'll just give me a hug next time he sees me and say,
Yeah,
"Good on
yeah.
you."
big shoes. Huh?
Shut. Shush. I'm not terribly familiar with this gentleman's work. His name is Will Poulter. I think he's best known for playing this teenage son in Weird Millers.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So I'm not familiar with his work. We were surprised that they cast. He's quite young. He's 22 years old, and so we were interested that somebody that young apparently hit the audition out of the ballpark. But that's what the director said, was that he just really owned his audition.
So you haven't seen We're the Millers?
No.
Okay. It's kind
No,
of a
it
goofy
said
kid.
it said I looked him up. He said We're the Millers, Voyage of the Dawn Treader. So I've not seen either of those.
And he's the clown?
Yeah, he's going to be cast as the Pennywise, the dancing clown.
Wow.
Yes. Wow. Even the Guardian. Okay, I'm a little vindicated right now. Even the Guardian went with the big shoes to fill pun.
Okay.
That's what was being pointed out right now. I couldn't figure out what was going on.
All right.
He doesn't even look like it. This is very bizarre for me.
He's what?
I'm having dissonance here between what he looks like and what Pennywise looks like.
Well, it's
I understand he's not wearing makeup. I got that part. But,
yes, there's that.
if you're interested, for those of you playing the home game, if you go to a simple Google search of Will Poulter as Pennywise the Clown, that's a bit of a mouthful. Variety has a good picture of him standing next to a cardboard cutout of the OG Pennywise.
Yes. I'll give you a little, maybe an idea of what the transformation may look like. But that, I was interested to see they finally have that cast because, like I said, Tim Curry did a great job, and there's been some talk about who would get that. So I was happy to see that we've got some ideas now. And there was also a little bit of news that came out recently is that there's rumors that there's going to be a new Indiana Jones movie.
With Harrison Ford.
They won't say. They basically, this is still in the, I get the impression we're still spitballing this right now because they said, well, we don't really have a script yet. We don't know if Harrison Ford will come back or who will be in it or who's going to direct it, but we're pretty sure we're going to do a fifth one. That was the gist.
They'll probably put Chris, what's his name in it?
Chris Pratt or Chris Evans?
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt, I could see.
Yeah. We've talked about that before.
Yeah.
Because there's an idea put forward that the Indiana Jones movies should be done like the James Bond movies, where just there are new stories in the series, and every now and then the actor changes.
Yeah,
I'd be all right with that.
Yeah. My fear.
I still haven't seen the last one, the Crystal Skulls.
That's okay.
It's okay.
It really
My
is.
fear, which I'll address for you here momentarily, why it's okay that you haven't seen Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. My fear is that they're going to put Shia LaBeouf in as Indiana Jones.
No, that's not going to happen.
Because he was Indy's son, which was horrible.
So was
Not as-
River Phoenix. What happened with?
Too soon?
He was young Indy.
He was
Yes,
young
he
Indy.
was.
Yeah.
Shia LaBeouf was not young Indy.
No.
Shia LaBeouf was spawn of Indy.
Spawn.
That
Nice.
sounds ridiculous.
You should see the film.
Something about a refrigerator,
Oh, okay.
nuclear bombs.
Yeah, you said that they were just spitballing because they didn't have a script, and I was going to say it's okay they didn't have a script for the last one either.
There's that. Anyway, those were the two things that I wanted to address.
Cool. Right on.
Would we now like to go to the Weekly Whatchas?
Let's do that.
Yay.
What you listening to, Erin?
Well, that's actually kind of a
Let me
short list
tell
this
ya.
week. Let me tell you about that. I've been listening to some Queen.
No.
I know. For the two people in this room, that's definitely a shock. Not at all. Queen is a very important component of life. If you don't already know that, folks, I suggest you get on it and start educating yourself. Best rock band ever. Anyway.
It's not even worth arguing. at
No,
this
it
point.
really isn't.
I didn't.
No.
But also been listening to some Goldfrapp, a lot of Jen Wigmore, and I've been listening to a lot of Marvin Gaye.
Yes.
Was a little reluctant about saying that today. I was afraid that family members might sue me, but I'm going to go ahead and risk it
Yeah.
and say I have been listening to Marvin
Good
Gaye.
luck.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Will, what you been listening to?
The Harry Potter audiobook as narrated by Stephen Fry for Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix.
Nice.
Fantastic. He does a good job with that.
Well
He
done.
does indeed. I had a lot of driving this past week. A lot of driving.
Okay.
So I've been catching up on my audiobooks. That's really it.
Oh, that's it.
Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll make a more distinct break. Jeff, how
There you
about you?
I listened to a couple of episodes of Freakonomics, including an interesting one about healthcare, and more specifically about how they did this study where at teaching hospitals, what happens to the patient mortality rate whenever all the cardiologists are off at a convention or whatnot. The mortality rate drops by 8%.
Wow.
When all the cardiologists are gone.
Are gone.
I'm not even surprised.
All the different treatments, and this includes aspirin, stents, the little what's the angioplasty? And the little balloon that they blow up.
Angioplasty.
Yeah, and all of those different things combined only account for like a 2.3% change in mortality rate.
Wow.
But the cardiologists being away and the less experienced doctors being there and perhaps being more cautious and running fewer tests and all this kind of stuff.
Not strapping them into a treadmill for a stress test.
Well,
Or just not.
anything, just not. There's just not enough staffing available to run tests.
Was there any psychological link that they think where, perhaps an older cardiologist might be more jaded or might be a little more inclined to say, call this one, something of that nature?
Or maybe a little bit more inclined to think that they know the best way to treat the the patient. Anyway, it's a huge number.
8% is pretty good.
Yeah, that's well outside the the statistical error.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was really interesting. And then I also started on Blueprint for Armageddon Part 6. It's the Dan Carlin series about World War I, and each episode's around 4 hours. So I'm working on my full day of Dan Carlin and World War I.
Nice.
But it's excellent. If you're a history buff at all, he does some of the best work with history that I've been exposed to. So
Right
Nice.
on.
yeah,
Very
Strong
cool.
work.
yep. And that's it for me.
Okay.
Erin, what you watching?
Let's see. Well, as we know, still working on Buffy. I am now well into season 2, which I'm enjoying very much.
Okay.
I got a couple of episodes of Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, and we're behind. I'm behind, and so I'm trying to get caught up on that. But
Okay.
I'm still behind,
Okay.
which is okay.
So I don't have to. What I'm gathering is that I don't have to start watching Angel yet.
No,
No,
not yet.
not yet. Because, and this plays into my next one. I watched Are You Being Served?
Okay.
Because I did not get my Hannibal stuff, and I went, oh, it's because I haven't sent back my last disc yet. I should watch that. And I'm going to the classic Britcom, Are You Being Served? I've always been a longtime fan of that show, and I haven't watched it in years. And I have to tell you, it's still fantastic.
Yeah.
It's still very funny. Love it. A couple of episodes of Everything You Didn't Know About Animals.
Mhm.
Jim McGinnis and
Smart
whatnot.
little buggers.
I love that. Love to learn about octopus.
I'd like to see an octopus eat a cat.
It's probably only a matter of time since that internet footage has been circulating of the octopus that walks out of the water, grabs the crab, and drags it back into the water.
That was awesome.
That was awesome. Not for the crab, but for the rest of us. It
The
was
crab was
awesome.
sitting there and I was like, hey, what?
Whoa, whoa.
What?
You're not supposed to be out of the water.
What's happening to me right now? So many suction cups. Why do I have a shell that's easily adhered to by suction cups?
This is poor planning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm. I watched one episode of Star Talk with Neil deGrasse Tyson,
All right.
which was very interesting. I'll be looking forward to seeing more of that. It was an episode with George Takei.
Sweet.
And we're almost there. We're still working on getting this guy caught up on Doctor Who. we're so close. I can taste it. I can almost start watching my favorite TV show again. In a long over a year. So, yay! We're almost there. Yay!
Awesome.
So exciting. Will.
Yeah, some Doctor Who and Captain America: Winter Soldier.
Oh, love that
It was
movie.
on the HBO, and why change
And
it?
because it's great.
It was great. It still is great.
Said you
Yeah.
watched some V for Vendetta as well, yes?
Yeah, I watched V for Vendetta before Captain America: Winter Soldier came
Cool.
on. Really, I just wasn't in the mood to change the channel. It just happened to be a good lineup,
Right.
so it worked out pretty well in my favor.
V for Vendetta is Natalie Portman and Hugo Weaving?
Yes,
Yes. And Stephen Ray.
Oh, yeah.
and Stephen Fry and a whole host of others.
Yes.
Yeah, very good film. So that's about it for me.
Awesome. Let's see. Started watching Horrible Bosses 2, but I was having issues with my Plex streaming to my phone.
Hmm.
And I think it was because I was working on editing at the same time, and the editing was eating up a ton of RAM on
Sure.
my computer, and I think it was causing stalls in the streaming. So I didn't get very far on that. I get really impatient with loading times while I'm watching stuff,
Right.
even stuff that I'm not actually watching. So just the break in the
I can
audio
sympathize.
irritates me. So.
Oh, yeah.
Then I also watched an episode of iZombie, which I'm continuing to enjoy. Bates Motel, it's getting down to it. I don't think they're going to be able to do much more with the series before he has his complete break and he fully
Mhm.
becomes the Norman
The
Bates
Norman that we all know and
Yeah.
love.
Yeah, it's getting close.
I was about to ask if they have not given any dates for this is when we're wrapping it up.
No,
Okay.
not yet. Not yet. I watched an episode of Madam Secretary, and I watched Game of Thrones, which was pretty good this week. So the third and fourth episodes were better than the first and second for sure.
Yeah.
So that's
Okay.
nice. It needed to get better. Dig is. If I actually thought it were going to be renewed, I'd probably drop off and not watch it through. But I feel like it's going to get canceled, and so I'm going to go ahead and watch whatever they put out,
All right.
or not
Okay.
canceled, just not renewed.
Shelved.
Yeah, I don't think it'll get canceled, cut off short for its season, but I don't see it getting a second season.
It'll be Firefly.
Yeah, yeah, or any other TV series that
Fox.
Jason Isaacs has been in.
Yeah, he has a great track record with movies and not so much with TV shows.
Right.
I don't know what that's about.
Yeah, I don't know either, but it's a shame.
Yes, it is.
Then I caught an episode of Lip Sync Battle, and it's not a great show. It's fine as a skit on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon, but as its standalone TV show, I don't see the appeal. I couldn't watch it.
I'm not gonna lie. I didn't realize that its own standalone TV show was a
It's only
thing.
recently become so.
That would be a long episode. Like you said, that's
Yeah,
hysterical
it's hosted
on
by,
Jimmy Fallon,
LL
but
Cool J.
I like LL. I just don't see how that's an entire episode worth of stuff.
Is that the thing we saw with Jimmy Fallon versus The Rock?
That was the
the first
show.
episode.
Yeah.
That was the episode.
That was the first episode of Lip Sync Battle.
Oh,
He did-
okay. I thought
where
that
he
was on
did,
his show.
Stand Alive,
Yeah.
Stand Alive.
Well, I don't know.
Rock and his-
I didn't see that one. I saw a later one.
Okay.
Oh.
But I know just from being familiar with it that those were the first two people on the pilot episode.
I
Okay.
see.
Interesting.
And let's see what else. American Crime, saw that. And Big Bang Theory,
Very nice.
and a little bit of Batman the Animated Series.
Sweet.
And also needing to be mentioned are the two movies that I did not watch this week. Those being A Most Violent Year and The Gambler.
Okay.
What I did is, I worked on Monday, and I had I had a Redbox coupon in my email to for buy or rent one get one free, and I did that before work because I didn't know if I'd have time to stop by there after work, and I put those 2 discs in my backpack. On the way here today, I took those 2 discs out of my backpack and returned them to Redbox.
Oh,
That was the first time they had been out of my backpack. So,
coupon.
so I paid full price for, let's say, the second day for both of them. So,
Well, at least you didn't pay full price to not watch movies.
I paid mostly full price to not watch movies.
Oh,
I
crap.
got one night free for one of them,
Mm.
but that was it. Paid for 3 rentals when I could have paid for 4, but I should have paid for none.
Oh, well, maybe next time around you'll
Yeah,
get to it.
We'll see. Maybe I'll get an even better coupon next time to help mitigate the cost of that
Of this one.
non-rental rental.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I believe that is it for what I've been watching. Erin, what you playing?
I have been playing this one is pretty short. Not last week. That was last week that I wrapped up BioShock DLC. This week I pulled up an old Fallout 3 game, messed with that for a little bit, and played some Trivia Crack
Nice.
because there's always Trivia Crack. Actually, my move this week for some reason has been either accepting and starting the game and then completely forgetting about it and getting the notice 2 days later that it's expired.
Yeah. That's
That's-
been my game for a while. People starting games and me not ever playing any of it.
Mhm. It's apparently been my move this week, so perhaps I'll get better this week. Perhaps I won't. World may never know. And we just acquired The Evil Within, and I had just fired it up earlier tonight, but I haven't actually played it. I am looking forward to giving you an update on that next week.
Yeah.
It looks good. Willem.
Realistically, for me, it's been less than a couple hours of Neverwinter. Just enough to log in, do the crafty thing, pray to the gods, and log out. It's not been too exciting. I did get a little bit of playtime in for my main level character on Neverwinter. I think it's up to level 45 now.
Cool.
Yeah, but I also just picked up the Xbox One Borderlands Handsome Jack collection, which I'm very excited for. I will be transferring my Xbox 360 save games via the cloud to the Xbox One.
Is
so
that
I will not
Borderlands
lose any
1
progress.
and one of the
Borderlands
expansions?
2 and all the Borderlands 2 expansions plus Borderlands 3 sequel.
Oh, it doesn't include Borderlands 1.
No.
Okay. I was
It's
Or
the
any
very
of that
new game
DLC.
that they came out with last fall, plus Borderlands 2, plus all of the available.
Okay.
content for it.
Well, that's not bad.
And I love the hell out of Borderlands, so I'll be excited to play it. So,
I think I finished Borderlands 2. I don't remember. I know I finished the first one.
yeah, I played the crap out of the first one.
true story.
But yeah.
Is the first one the you get to the end and fight the giant vagina monster?
Yes.
That's the first one.
Yes. Once you fight the tentacled vagina monster, then it's like, there's really nothing in the vault except it was a prison. Ha ha ha. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't think I played the second one through to the
The
end.
second one is all about beating Handsome Jack and rescuing the siren. And
Yeah, I don't think I did that.
the DLC for Borderlands 2 is fantastic.
Cool.
Quite specifically, the Dungeons and Dragons themed.
Oh, yeah, I definitely didn't do that.
It was really well done.
You were quite pleased with it.
Yes, absolutely. I'm looking forward to playing it on the one.
Cool. Right on.
Jeff.
I played a very little bit of Neverwinter. Did the same kind of thing. Logged in and did the trade skill thing because it does it unmonitored. You don't have to be online for it to do it. It just takes a certain number of hours or whatever. So I just set it and log out. Although I did play maybe 2 or 3 quests this week. And then I also did a little bit of Dying Light, which I really enjoy and I fully recommend for survival horror type fans. and fans of, I don't know, scary games, then
Yes.
definitely worth a look. Yeah, that's what I was telling Erin earlier, is that it's my most terrifying experience in gaming is the first time that you get caught outside of the safe zone at night. It is awful.
Yes.
But
It's great that they achieved that
it's
in a video game.
it's exhilarating, of course. Once you get to the end, and I managed to get back to the safe point without dying, and that was a really cool feeling. But it was not fun.
Which means they did a good job.
Actually felt like I was in danger, and I didn't want my character to die
Mhm.
or myself to
Yes.
Yes. Also around.
You via your character. to
die.
die.
Yeah. So yeah, that was it for me. You guys have anything else?
No, that,
All of this was true.
All of this was true.
maybe.
Maybe.
All
Unless
of it
we're
was at
lying
least
now.
mostly true. Half and half.
Yeah, I got nothing else.
Okay.
We'll let you guys figure it out.
Perfect. All right. That is episode 324. Thank you guys for watching, and thank you for listening. And we will see you next week.
Good night.
Maybe I may not see you next week. I will probably see you next week.
No problem.
It won't be on a Wednesday though. If you see me, more than likely,
We'll see somebody at some point.
somebody will be seen.
Somebody will
next
be
week.
seen next week.
Possibly
All right.
even heard. Anyways, good night. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And I'm out.
Bye.
Good night.